Have you ever wondered what was on the menu for our earliest ancestors? If you picture a bunch of cavemen constantly chasing down mammoths with spears, you're not alone. That's the popular image, right? A diet heavy on meat, meat, and more meat. This idea is so popular it's even inspired the modern paleo diet. But what if I told you that picture is incomplete, and maybe even a little bit wrong? The real story of what early humans ate is far more complex, fascinating, and, frankly, a lot more delicious than you might think. We're going to dig into the science, from fossil teeth to ancient tools to uncover the true prehistoric pantry. Let's start by busting that big myth: early humans were not exclusively carnivores, while hunting was definitely a crucial part of their lives. Calling them pure carnivores would be like calling us pure pizza eaters, just because we love a good slice. The evidence overwhelmingly points to our ancestors being opportunistic omnivores. They ate what was available, and that menu changed dramatically depending on where they were, what season it was, and what tools they had. Think of them as the ultimate flexitarians. So, how would we know this? One of the coolest pieces of evidence comes directly from their mouths, or what is left of them. Scientists can analyze the microscopic scratches and pits on fossilized teeth. Different foods leave different patterns. Eating tough meat creates long, vertical scratches, while chewing on hard nuts and seeds leaves tiny, complex pits. When researchers looked at the teeth of early hominins like Australopithecus, they found a mix of patterns suggesting a varied diet of fruits, leaves, nuts, seeds, insects. And yes, some meat. They were more like resourceful foragers than single-minded hunters. Another amazing clue is dental plaque. I know, it sounds gross, but ancient, fossilized dental plaque, called dental calculus, is a treasure trove of information. It's like a time capsule of their last meals. Scientists can find microscopic plant starches, pollen grains, and other residues trapped in this plaque. For example, analysis of Neanderthal dental plaque from sites in Spain and Belgium revealed something incredible. The Spanish Neanderthals had eaten nuts, moss, and mushrooms, with no sign of meat. Meanwhile, their Belgian cousins had a diet of woolly rhino and wild sheep, with very few plants. This tells us they adapted their diet to their local environment. They weren't dogmatically sticking to one food group. Now, let's talk about the meat. How did they get it? While the image of a coordinated mammoth hunt is epic, for a long time, our ancestors were probably more scavengers than apex predators. Imagine a pack of hyenas or a saber-toothed cat taking down a large animal. After they had their fill, our ancestors would move in, using simple stone tools to crack open bones for the rich, calorie-dense marrow inside, and to scrape off leftover scraps of meat. This was a high-risk, high-reward strategy. Bone marrow was like the first superfood, a fatty, energy-packed meal protected in a hard shell that other predators couldn't easily access. The development of stone tools was a game-changer, turning leftover carcasses into a vital food source. Of course, as brains got bigger and tools got more sophisticated, hunting became more prominent. We see evidence of butchered animal bones with cut marks from stone tools that are over 3 million years old. These weren't just scraps, they were processing entire carcasses. They hunted smaller game like antelopes, gazelles, and wild pigs. They also fished and collected shellfish along coastlines and rivers. Archaeological sites are full of discarded shells and fish bones, showing that surf and turf has been on the menu for a very, very long time. But we can't forget the plants. For many early human groups, plants likely made up the bulk of their daily calories. They were the reliable, predictable part of the diet when a hunt failed. They gathered fruits, berries, nuts, and seeds. But one of the most important plant sources was underground, tubers and roots. Think of ancient yams, wild carrots, and other starchy vegetables. These were like underground energy reserves. The catch: they were hard to dig up and often needed to be processed to be edible. And that brings us to the single most important culinary invention in human history: fire. The control of fire, which happened sometime between 1 million and 400,000 years ago, revolutionized everything about eating. Cooking food does several amazing things. It kills harmful bacteria and parasites, making meat safer to eat. It breaks down tough plant fibers and starches, making them easier to digest and unlocking more nutrients. A cooked potato gives you way more energy than a raw one. This meant our guts could get smaller and our brains could get bigger, as our bodies didn't need to spend as much energy on digestion. Fire opened up a whole new world of edible possibilities and gave us a massive evolutionary advantage. Let's also consider insects. While it might make some of us squirm today, insects are a fantastic source of protein and fat. Many traditional societies around the world still eat them, and it's almost certain our ancestors did too. Grubs, ants, grasshoppers, they were an easy-to-catch, nutritious snack. It was fast food, prehistoric style. So, if you put it all together, what does a typical day of eating look like for an early human? It's a mosaic. They might wake up and gather some berries and nuts near their camp. A little later, a group might go out to hunt or check their traps, while another group digs for tubers or collects shellfish by a river. If a hunt was successful, they'd feast on roasted meat and marrow that night. If not, the meal would be roasted roots, whatever fruits they found, and maybe some grubs. There was no single paleo diet. There were hundreds of them, each one tailored to a specific time and place. From the icy plains of Europe to the lush forests of Africa, our ancestors proved to be masters of adaptation. The real takeaway from studying the diet of early humans isn't a prescription for what we should eat today. Our world is vastly different. The plants and animals have changed, and so have we. The real lesson is about flexibility and variety. Our ancestors thrived because they were resourceful, they worked together, and they ate a diverse range of foods. They weren't picky eaters. They ate what the environment provided: meat, plants, insects, seafood, you name it. That dietary flexibility is what allowed us to survive, adapt, and eventually spread across the entire planet. So, the next time you hear someone talking about the caveman diet, you'll know the real story is much richer and more interesting. It's a story of survival, ingenuity, and a menu that was constantly changing. It reminds us that for most of human history, we've been defined by our ability to make the most of whatever was on nature's table. Thanks for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed uncovering the truth about what our ancestors really ate, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the past. Let me know in the comments what ancient topic you'd like me to explore next. See you in the next video.